Fartcoin is up more than 50% today. Now, can this rally last longer? Let's have a look at who's actually buying here, who's selling here. Let's try to figure out how solid this current rally is and if it still makes sense to get in. Now, here's the Pump.fun ecosystem, so the launchpad of meme coins on the Solana chain. And this list shows us the tokens ordered by their market cap, and Fartcoin is now at number 7. So this gives us a first idea of what a potential upside could be, right? If Fartcoin was to double, it would be at number 3. If it was to quadruple, it would be at number 2. And a 5x would put it at number 1. Now, those kinds of market caps we only get with centralized exchange listings usually. Now, this is not the first video on Fartcoin on this channel. I published one when the price was still at 5 cents. Now we are at 37 cents. And so here's the problem with YouTube. When you discuss a token that's not yet that well known, that's relatively small, where there's no audience yet, then of course YouTube also will not show it to many people. Not a lot of people click on a token they've never heard before. And so look at the performance of my Fartcoin videos. I made 2. Here's the first video. It underperformed an average video by quite a bit. So the average video is here in gray. And it does catch up a little bit now as the price increases. Here's the second video, again an underperformer compared to other videos. And the structure of my videos is very, very similar. The kind of value I provide is very similar. It's always on-chain analytics. It's always trying to figure out who's buying, who's selling, and getting at the data that's behind the price action. And so I publish videos on various meme coins regularly on this channel. I try to be early. I try to still publish videos even though they won't be that popular. If you appreciate this, feel free to subscribe. Feel free to potentially even hit the notification bells because, again, the algorithm is against us and might not show you the video when it's actually the best time to buy. Now let's go into the on-chain data for Fartcoin now. On the left side, we see the number of new investors versus returning investors on any given day. On the right side, we see the number of token transactions per day. And we're seeing here an interesting pattern. We see that upon launch, we had a lot of attention. That attention then died down, but now we are picking up again. Most days we've got more recurring traders than first-time traders, but we do have our occasional days where the investor base is growing quite quickly. The number of token transactions, interestingly enough, tends to decline over time. Again, while the price is going up. What's going on here? Have a look at this chart. It's a chart I look at for pretty much any of my videos on this channel. It shows the number of retail investors on the left, it shows the number of whale investors on the right, and in the middle is the thing that's in between. So on the left side, we see the number of wallets that have at least 2,500 Fartcoins. So at the current price, that's roughly $1,000 worth of the token. We see accumulation at the beginning, then somewhat of a slow phase, and then again, momentum picks up. Very similar pattern for medium-sized retail. So that's now a 10x in minimum holding. So a minimum holding of $10,000 worth of the token. Again, initial accumulation, but quicker selling in the medium. And now again, a second wave of buying. On the right side, we see the number of whales, and the number of whales is pretty constant. Now here's something interesting. Even though the number of whales is constant, the ownership of tokens by the whales is actually not constant. But more on that in a second. Let's have a look at trading volume. On the left side, we see the trading volume in US dollars per day. On the right side, we see this normalized to 100% for every day. Again, we see our 2 waves. We see how the secondary wave had more trading volume than the first one. And here's the interesting part of this statistic. Over time, it seems like more and more trading volume is dominated by the larger wallets. Less and less trading volume is dominated by the smaller wallets. And here is what that means for token ownership. Have a look at this over here. This is the percent of tokens that are held by wallets that have less than $1,000 worth of the token. This went from 5% all the way down to less than 1%. Have a look at medium-sized retail, so that's now up to $10,000. When we add up those 2 cohorts, we are at a bit over 4% now, and that's coming down from 20%. Even the large retail wallets, right? So everything up to $100,000 went from 40% down to 14%. So now the vast majority of tokens is held by wallets that have more than $100,000 worth of the token. The number of whales is not increasing, but the ownership by the whales definitely is. And so this is then how that looks like in value terms. Let's just compare those 2 peaks. For the peak at the end of October, the whales had 40 million worth of the token. Now they've got more than 320 million. So an 8x roughly in holding. For large retail, the ownership has only 3x'd. For medium-sized retail, it has only doubled. And for small retail, it also has roughly doubled. What can we learn from this? I believe we can learn from this that the smart money tends to bet on the right horses. We want to follow the smart money, right? When the whales are accumulating, that's probably the right asset to buy. Crypto is both a game of luck, but also of skill. And the more the game is played, the more the capital moves from the not so skilled people to the more skilled people. So the people that have a lot of capital, they tend to also make the better calls. Now, I want to share how I was able to make a video about Fartcoin that early, when the price was still at 5 cents. And again, now we are at 37 cents. Have a look at this over here. This is an overview of wallet tracking signals. So I like to track wallets of influencers and of insiders and of top traders, of people that move the market. I like to look at those kind of wallets, and I like to look at what are they buying and what are they selling. And so what we've got over here is Kyle Chessy, how he's buying Fartcoin for 4.5 cents. Since then, the price went up by more than 700%. Or have a look at this signal. This is Kyle Chessy buying the GOAT token for 14 cents. And since its purchase, the price went up by 556%. Or have a look at this. This is the Peanut token purchased by Crypto Banter at 3 cents. And Peanut went up by almost 4,000% since then. So here's Kyle Chessy's YouTube channel. He's got 136,000 subscribers. Here's Crypto Banter's channel, 1.1 million subscribers. And when those kind of YouTube channels talk about the token, when it's still that small in market cap, of course it generates a lot of attention, and attention leads to purchases, and that leads to rising prices. And so really, I think that's the way how to get in market edge, right? It's knowing things that most people don't know. It's acting early when most people aren't yet aware of a token. It's following people that already trade well, where we can then get similar performances. So here are the wallets by Crypto Banter. We track 33 of their wallets. And here are the wallets by Kyle Chessy. We track 12 of his wallets. In total, we track more than 400 wallets. And so I really like this strategy. I like to look at the smart money. That's why I've even created a dedicated tutorial section just on wallet tracking. So how can we find various influencer wallets? How can we then track those wallets? And how can we afterwards interpret the signals that we get from the tracking? It's all part of the premium membership of this channel. It's down below, thebitcoinstrader.com. Premium is not just about wallet tracking. It's also about on-chain analytics, right? The charts that we looked at today in this video. It's also about backtesting. It's about risk mitigation, about portfolio diversification. There's more than 100 tutorial videos in total. Once we have a wallet signal, we of course also have to discuss when should we buy, when should we sell. We have to look at the different on-chain analytics. That's why we've got dedicated chats on the individual altcoins as well. So feel free to check it out. It's currently $125 per month. There's also a 1-week money back guarantee. So in case you don't like premium, simply just message me within the first week and I'll refund you 100%. There's really zero risk for you. So it looks like the heavyweights continue to accumulate Fartcoin. It looks like that's what's currently pushing up the price. But to really see another 2 or 3x, we probably need to see a listing, for example, by Binance. Now, if you got some value out of this video, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. See you in the next video, or see you in premium. Cheers.